In this presentation, I'm going to present different kinds of essay hooks. There are many different kinds of essay hooks. So an essay hook is when you write the first sentence of your paragraph, of your essay, which grabs the reader's attention. So there are many kinds of essay hooks. There's the interesting question hook, strong statement hook, statistic hook, metaphor hook, story hook, description hook, quotation hook. What is an essay hook? An essay hook is the first sentence of your essay that grabs the reader's attention. This first sentence makes the reader want to read the rest of your essay. This first sentence motivates the reader to find out the answer to your story or intrigues the reader about your topic so much so that he wants to read your essay. There are many different ways you can write that first sentence or hook to hook the reader to your essay. You can ask a question, make a strong statement, state a statistic, write a metaphor, write a cliffhanger, or give a description and more. An essay hook is not your thesis statement. A common error that students make is to write their thesis statement as the first sentence of their essay. Your thesis belongs at the end of your introduction paragraph. The thesis is always the last sentence of the first paragraph. The hook, on the other hand, is the first sentence of the introduction paragraph. Interesting question hook. For the topic, I became a nurse because an interesting question hook would ask an interesting question about the topic. Avoid using you and your. Replace you and your with a person or a persons for a more professional tone. Examples of an interesting question hook. Is nursing as exciting a profession as it is portrayed on TV? How did I become a successful nurse? Why would I do a job where there are sick people around? And in order to find out the answer to these questions, you have to read the essay. Strong statement declaration hook. A strong statement declaration hook is when you make a strong claim about your topic that nobody knows about, which invites the reader to want to read more about your topic. Nursing is not for the faint of heart. Nursing requires more stamina than a person can imagine. A fact statistic hook. A fact statistic hook is that first sentence or statistic that grabs the reader's attention. 80% of Americans are obese. You can use a statistic that surprises or startles the reader into wanting to read your essay. Note, if you use a statistic, you always need to have an in-text citation to cite your source to avoid plagiarism. Metaphor simile hook. A metaphor simile hook helps the reader understand your topic through comparison or metaphor. The reader becomes intrigued as to why you would compare your topic to something unrelated, and this encourages the reader to want to read the rest of your essay. From Romeo and Juliet, Juliet is like the sun. Nursing is like carefully tending a garden where a person nurtures her patients like a gardener nurtures his plants. Story hook, cliffhanger hook. A story hook is when you start your essay with a cliffhanger or a story. The reader wants to read your essay to know the ending of your story. The key to a great story is to make sure the story directly relates to your topic. The reader has to read the rest of the essay to know what happens next. I treat COVID patients. We had to put the patient on a ventilator, and then the patient took his last breath to desperately say these last words to his family. So to find out what happens next, you have to read the rest of the essay. So this is another way in which you can grab the reader's attention and hook them to your essay. Description hook. You can give a description of a day in the life of a nurse for one short moment to draw the reader into the topic of why you became a nurse. A description hook is that first sentence that uses description and appeals to all five senses to draw the reader's curiosity into your essay. A description hook is the most popular hook used with narrative essays, as it draws the reader into your story. The cancer had consumed the patient's body, and he became a mere skeleton of what he used to be. His body had vanished because. And so here you have a description, and then in order to find out more, one fine rainy day, and then that's a good hook also. John stood by the side of the road when a stranger jumped out of the car. This is very similar to a cliffhanger or story hook. Quotation hook. You can use a famous saying, proverb, or unusual fact for quotation to start your essay to pique your reader's curiosity about your topic. This is a hook where a vivid description of a scene draws your reader into your writing. Education is the most powerful weapon a person can use against the world. Knowledge is power. The early bird gets the worm. So if you start your essay with something like a proverb, like childhood is the heart of your adulthood, or foundation of your adulthood, then you have to read the rest of the essay to find out what the author means by that quotation. So that hooks your reader into your essay by using that proverb or unusual fact. Conclusion. Your introduction paragraph has 3 parts: a hook, bridge, and a thesis. In this presentation, I just talked about hooks. And the hook is the first sentence of your essay, which grabs the reader's attention. So in my next presentation, I will talk about different kinds of bridges and different kinds of thesis statements, as well as different kinds of introduction paragraphs. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or schedule a one-on-one Zoom session with me.